Greetings viewers and subscribers. So in today's journey, we will be traveling along the worst road in Savannah Lamar and the best road in Savannah Lamar. We'll be going to a community named Gully Bank that's right beside the Savannah Lamar Hospital. And we'll also be going back to Russia, also in Savannah Lamar. Take a look at the comparison of the two roads. Gully Bank, the road have been neglected by different political representatives over the years, and something needs to be done to this road. Take a look for yourself and compare it with the Russia community. We are not pointing any finger at the current administration because yes, we know the other administration was in power for years and did nothing about it. We are hoping that this current administration try and do something about it. A people live round there, and no hog and goat. Some decent law-abiding people live round there. Please do something about it. So in today's stories, we have a number of stories for you today. We don't have the luxury of putting out 3, 4, 5 videos per day. So these stories that we are gonna bring to you, each of them could have make up different stories, but we are gonna fit them in this one video. Trust me, it's a whole lot of stories. First up, the lady on your screen, her name is Miss Natalie Dawkins. She is a 44 years old teacher, and she is from Denby, Crawl, in the parish of Clarendon. Her family and friends are desperately trying to find her. She has been missing since Tuesday, the 30th of March 2021. Reports are that Miss Dawkins was last seen at her home on Tuesday about 11:30 a.m. Now, she was contacted by one of her neighbors, and the neighbor told her that her car alarm kept going off. It is said that she went to check on the car. She has not been seen since that time. We are told that relatives visited her house and realized that both she and the car were missing. They made reports to the Four Paths police. We are also told that whilst the family was making checks, they were informed by the Spanish Town police that Miss Dawkins' handbag was found along Highway 2000, the Spanish Town leg of Highway 2000. Miss Dawkins, she is of dark complexion, medium built, and about 5 feet 7 inches tall. Her mode of attire is not known, and like we said, her family and friends are desperately trying to find her. Trust me, we are hoping for the best, but like we always tell people whenever these things happen, expect the worst, because these persons who have taken away Miss Dawkins, I am sure that they didn't take her away to go and have breakfast with her, or take her away to go and have lunch with her, or take her away to carry go to Wobbeman or to carry go to church. We are hoping, still hoping for the best, but family and friends of Miss Dawkins, please expect the worst. Jamaica, trust me. You see, when we carry these stories, I've seen some persons coming on the channel and they want to dictate why not carry some good news coming from Jamaica. We have no problem with whosoever want to carry the good news, but we believe that we must face reality as it is, not as it was or how we wish reality to be. That is the only way we are gonna be able to tackle our issues. So I, on this channel, will be bringing you the stories that are spoiling Jamaica's good name. Don't come on here and tell me about carry good news. Nothing wrong with carrying good news. This channel is specially dedicated to carry. If you want to call it the bad news, you call it the bad news. But we are bringing to you the reality, the darker side of what is happening in Jamaica. It's when you know what is happening, you'll be able to save your life or save your friend's life or assist in doing something about it. No need to sweep anything under any carpet. So, make we move on. I just had to get that out of the way. And if you have not yet hit on the like button, hit on it. If you have not yet subscribed, Remember, we are aiming for 10,000 subscribers. And I had given you a hint in the last video. When we reach 10,000 subscribers, we are gonna start bringing you some stories every week that I am sure you will be interested in. Not every day, because we'll be bringing the new stories to you, but we are gonna be bringing some stories every week about some persons which I'm sure you will be interested in. Crime stories. Stick around for it. So, moving right along. If you look on your screen, the man you're seeing on your screen right now, his name is Kymaine Thomas. He was 21 years old and he's a laborer of Stone Edge District in the Darliston area of the parish of Westmoreland. Kymaine, he lived with his mother and his stepfather. And like we said, they live at Stone Edge. Kymaine, he's a past student of the Mad MacLeod High School. Since leaving high school, he has been doing his little farming. You know, plant his vegetable, plant his food, sell his little crop, get some money. Since recently, Kymaine, he started acting strangely. Person started saying he's a madman. I spoke to a very good friend of Kymaine. They were together Saturday night, holding a vibes. And he told me that Kymaine, you could see that something was bothering him. This friend, he told me that on Tuesday, the 30th of March, 2021, about 5 o'clock, he took out his phone to call Kymaine. But somehow, something else happened and he totally forgot. The next news he heard about Kymaine was that he was no longer here with us. You'll be asking yourself, what happened? This is exactly what happened. About 7 p.m., Tuesday the 30th of March 2021, Kymaine, he was at home with his stepfather and his mother. His stepfather is a taxi operator and his mother is a vendor. Kymaine, he suddenly stripped himself naked and attacked both his mother and father with a number of rock stones. Some of these stones damaged his stepfather's car. Some of them also damaged the house. Kymaine, he then went into his room. Whilst in the room, he set fire to the sheets on his bed and the curtain in his room. He then pulled the sheets and curtains outside to the back of the house. He then went back inside of the house. All of this time, his mother and stepfather could only stand and look at him because they were fearful of what he might have done to them if they tried to subdue him. Kymaine, he went back inside the house where he removed his bed and furniture from his room and took them outside to the back of the house. Kymaine then set the furniture on fire. This is the sad part. Everything that Kymaine carried outside was now on fire, to include his bed, his dresser, curtain and sheets. Kymaine then jumped on the bed and lay down on the bed, allowing the fire to burn him up. By this time, the mother and the stepfather, they were there bawling for help, for persons to come and assist. Persons from the community, they came and assisted to put out the blaze. But by this time, it was too late. Kymaine was charred. He was seen in the burnt debris. Kymaine, although it was suspected that he succumbed to his injuries on the spot, he was still taken to the Savlamar Hospital, where he was officially pronounced DEAD. I can't even elaborate on this story because, like I said, there are a lot more to come. But can you imagine the pain this mother is feeling, seeing his son going out like that? It's not pretty. So in the next story, now, in our last video, we had carried a story about a man named Mr. Steve Wright. He was found with gunshot wounds to his head in the Sheffield area, and we had promised to get some additional information and bring you up to speed. Mr. Steve Wright, he was popularly called Rima. He's 57 years old and he's unemployed of a place named Franz Avenue, not Dars Lane like I had said before. of France Avenue, Sheffield District in the parish of Westmoreland. Now, our information is that Rima, he was last seen alive on Monday, the 29th of March 2021, about 10 a.m. At that time, he was seen by residents of the area walking along France Avenue. Now on Tuesday, the 30th of March 2021, about 9 o'clock in the morning, Mr. Wright's relative, at least two of his relatives, they decided to go and visit Mr. Wright because they were hearing some rumors that he was beaten to death in the grill. On arrival of Mr. Wright, popularly called Rima's house, the relatives, they discovered Rima lying on the ground inside the unfinished house with a wound to his head. The police were called in, and Rima, Mr. Steve Wright, he was found with what appears to be a gunshot wound to his head. He was taken to the Savlamar Hospital where he was pronounced officially DEAD. Our information is that when the police processed this crime scene, 4 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. So it is no doubt that Rima was attacked and shot by his assailants. Moving right along, because we tell you the story is enough today. So in the next incident, this one, it happened at a place named White Sand, Cambridge, in the parish of St. James. It happened on Tuesday, the 30th of March 2021, about 8 p.m. Our information is that residents of the same area, they heard loud explosions and called the police. The police went to investigate, where they stumbled upon the body of an unidentified man. He was found lying in a pool of blood. He had what appears to be gunshot wounds to his head and upper body. He was clad in an orange shirt, black underpants, blue jean shorts, and white sneakers. He was rushed by the police to the Cornwall Regional Hospital where he was pronounced DEAD. We are told that when this crime scene was processed, 3 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. As soon as we get this man's name, we are gonna inform you. But hear this now. The next day, Wednesday, the 31st of March 2021, a 32-year-old taxi operator, this taxi driver was parked in the Cambridge Square when a man unknown to him came to him and told him that he needed to charter his taxi. He wanted to go to Retrieve. As a matter of fact, he told the driver that he would be paying him $2,000 to take him to Retrieve. The driver agreed. The man came and sit down in the car. Now this 32-year-old taxi driver, he uses a Nissan AD wagon to operate as a robot taxi. Whilst driving, the man who had chartered this driver, he started questioning the driver about the death of the unidentified man which took place the night before at Cambridge. This man, he told the driver that he knew that he, the driver, lived close to where the incident took place. They were chatting about it. On reaching Retrieve, this man who had chartered this taxi driver, he requested a stop at a lonely part on the road. As he was about to exit the Nissan AD wagon, he pulled a gun and opened fire on the taxi driver. This taxi driver, he received gunshot wounds to his chin and right hand. This gunman then made good his escape on foot in the area. The taxi driver, he managed to drive to the Cambridge police station where he was assisted by the police to a nearby hospital. He has since been admitted in hospital in a serious but stable condition. We are told that when this crime scene was processed, a total of 5 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. It is sheer luck. For those who believe in God, whoever you perceive him to be, God was on this taxi driver's side, because 5 or more shots were fired. He was hit in his chin and right hand. Apparently, he was out seeking revenge for somebody who was taken out the night before. Maybe the person who was taken out is his friend. In the next story, this one, it happened at a place named Bachelor's Hall in the Lucy area in the parish of Hanover. It happened on Wednesday, the 31st of March 2021, close to midday. Our information is that 2 men, they are still unidentified, but they were shot by hoodlums. Our information is that both men, they were working on a construction site at Bachelor's Hall in Lucy when they were approached by men. The men brandished guns and opened fire on both men. They were hit. Both of them were rushed to a nearby hospital where one of them, he was pronounced DEAD. The other one has since been admitted in a serious condition. We will be updating this story in a subsequent video. But these 2 men were hit. One has gone already and the other one is battling for life in hospital. When I tell you we have a lot of stories today, did you doubt me? Moving right along. This next story will be the final story for the day. This incident, it happened at a place named Bobman Hill, Blood Lane, in the Barrett-Town police area of the parish of St. James. It happened on Tuesday, the 30th of March 2021, about 8:30 p.m. Our information is that a man, his name is Dican Roy Allen. He's popularly called Neil, 39 years old, and he's a shopkeeper. In fact, he operates a shop at Blood Lane at Bobman Hill in the parish of St. James. Now, about 8:30 p.m., Neil, he was standing outside of his shop talking to another man. This man, he goes by the name Blacks. When 2 men armed with guns entered the yard and opened fire on both men. Neil, he was hit several times in his head and upper body. He was assisted to the Falmouth Hospital by family members, where he was pronounced DEAD on arrival by the doctor on duty. Up to the time of doing this video, we are not sure whether or not anything has been heard of from Blacks. So we don't know whether or not Blacks was also hit. But when the police processed this crime scene, a total of 12 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. So 12 or more than 12 bullets were fired on these 2 men. If Blacks was not hit, he's a lucky guy. Remember to like and share the videos. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We want to go to 10,000 subscribers so that we can start bringing you some serious crime stories. You're gonna hear some of them and say, really? And so that it go? We are gonna tell you about some persons, past and present, who you will have interest in. Some long time wanted men, some crime that they commit. We are gonna give you some crimes that shook up Western Jamaica. Stay tuned for that. Blessed love, everybody.